Alright, I'm going to walk through how to solve the first three problems from the sheet for INT 912. If you did not get the score you wished you would have on these problems after looking at the answer key, this is just meant to kind of walk you through how they're done. So, again, we're going to solve these inequalities just like their equations. So we have 4x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 7. I'm going to solve that just like an equation. So 2 is my boundary point. Once you have your boundary point, go ahead and plot your dot, because this is a greater than or equal to. That means the dot for this problem should be filled in. So I have a filled in dot. And then the second step to this is to just try a number from one side of the boundary. So the idea is all the numbers less than 2 or all the numbers greater than 2 are going to work for this inequality. The other side will not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try 0. I always like to try 0 because it's usually a really easy one to try. If I put 0 into this inequality, I have 4 times 0 minus 1, which is negative 1, is greater than or equal to 7. That is not true. And so that means the numbers on the left side of 2 are not correct. The numbers on the right side are. And my inequality would be x is greater than or equal to 2. This is the solution. And what that means is these are all the numbers that are going to work for this inequality. When I look at this inequality, if x is greater than 2 or equal to 2, it's going to work. If it's smaller than 2, it will not. So going to the next one, we have 2 times quantity x minus 5 is less than or equal to 8. So again, I'm going to solve it just like an equation. I'm going to distribute, solve it as if it was an equation, and I get 9. So again, that is my boundary point. Because it is, again, a less than or equal to, it's got the line underneath, that means my dot is going to be filled in. And then I try a number on one side or the other of my boundary point. Again, you can try whatever numbers you want. I like to just try 0 because it's a really easy one to try. If I plug that into this inequality, 0 minus 5 is negative 5. 2 times negative 5 is negative 5. That is less than or equal to 8, which means all the numbers down here are correct. And my solution is x is less than or equal to 9. Alright, do one more. This is number 3. So again, the same deal. I'm just going to solve it as if it was an inequality. I want to get x by itself on one side, and I want to get the number on the other side. So my answer is going to be negative 3 is less than 3x. Divide by 3. And then my number is x equals negative 1. And actually, now that I look about this, let's just leave this, because again, we're going to solve it just like it was an equation first. Alright, so negative 1 is my boundary point. With this one, it actually is a less than but not equal to, which means I have an open dot. And then I try a number on one side or the other in the inequality. So when I say in the inequality, I go back to this. If I try 0 and plug 0 in here and plug 0 in here, that would give me 3 minus 2 times 0, which is 3, is less than 0 plus 6, which is 6. That is true, which means that 0, which is right here, is correct. And that means that all the numbers on that side are correct. So my final inequality would be the solution to this problem is that x has to be bigger than negative 1. If x is bigger than negative 1, it will work in this inequality. So, hope that helps. If you are stuck on any of these, please do email me, and I will either send you some extra material or help, or be happy to do a Zoom conference to kind of walk you through some.